Good morning. Tina O here on this fine December morning. I had to catch the light. I don't know if you ever do that. You see the light, like, I gotta go catch the light. The light's so beautiful. You just don't want to miss the light, you know? Solstice is coming. December 1st, 21st is coming. And then the days get longer, not shorter. Sometimes you gotta chase the light. Welcome to this fine December morning, to Tina O Life, to this series called The Call. This is where I have coffee with you in the morning. You get my full-on naked face, morning hair, the whole bit, because just like you, I am just like you. And so this series, call series about the call, is I'm a core story specialist. So what that means is I'm a professional listener, and I listen in to the story that is within you, that is like knocking on your ribs saying me, me, me. And that story, and we have many of them to share the world. Some of us are communicators in the world, and we're here to actually share messages. But all of us, whether we're a communicator or have a message to give the world or not, all of us are called. All of us. It's not like, only special people have a call. That's funny. What if I don't have a call? Here's what I know. You're here, and you made it here in this human experience on this beautiful planet of ours that we have, with a skill set that is innately yours, with a wildness that is innately yours, with an intensity that is innately yours, with a softness that is uniquely yours, innately yours. You came into the world with it, and that is the call. The very fact that you are here, that you are above ground, that you are breathing, that you are in this human form and not just energy floating around the planet, universe, whatever language, whatever you follow, however that speaks to you, you are here in human form. That is your call. So today, with my little Christmas cup of coffee, we're going to talk about the call of your wildness. And I'm sharing little stories from my own life to kind of help you understand how I came to this place of stepping into my own calling. Because really that's what this is about. Stepping into your own calling and embodying that bigness, that beautifulness, that magnificence that has always been you in some form of sharing with the world. So let's talk about wildness. Wildness is often that thing that we're like, man, if I gave that to the world, they'd be like, that's too big. Or, man, if I gave that to the world, that's too dark. Man, if I gave that wildness to the world, I might implode or explode. If I fully stood in my wildness, took it right out to my fingertips, right to my eyelashes, right to my kneecaps, if I embodied that wildness, that fire that lives in me, or that water that lives in me, or that wind that lives in me, if I embodied that, something bad will happen. And you may not even have been the person to think that. It may have been someone around you that said to you, that thing, when you cry like that, or, when you write that stuff, or, when you do that thing, I don't know if that's okay. Like, maybe you shouldn't do that so much. Maybe you should tone that back. You ever heard that? I get that a lot, but I'm a bit of an Energizer bunny. Now, I'm not the only Energizer bunny friend in my life. Andrea Fletcher Tierney, if you are watching, you are the Energizer bunny. But I will tell you, I do burn a bit hot. I was talking to a young man recently who has a real leans towards the dark, shall we say. And I was listening, and I'm listening, and I'm listening, and I'm listening, and I can feel, and you will do this, or you will see other people who do this, I could feel him sort of couching his language, and that's your flag. When you start to cushion your language, cushion what you're doing so that it's more appropriate for somebody else. And by the way, I'm not suggesting that we should all run naked in public places, because we also live in a world where there are the way that we are, right? The way we go get groceries. I'm not suggesting we all go run naked in supermarkets. Although, in the right place, that's okay. Anyway, I digress. What I'm talking about is that inner wildness. So there he was, and I was watching him cushion some of his responses to my questions. So finally I just called it out. I said, "You kind of like the dark, eh?" And in that question, what fell out of his mouth was so beautiful. It was so beautiful. It's this person who really enjoys horror movies, and then we got into why he enjoys horror movies, and we got into oh boy, not Lost Lagoon, the monster. Oh my gosh. Anyway, old school, Frankenstein, creature from the Lost Lagoon. Is that what it is? And these old school films. And what he said was, it's the misunderstood monsters. And it just like, when people speak truth to you, your body, well, my body feels it. I don't know, you might hear it, you might see something, but when people speak truth to you, to me, it's like my body goes ping. And there was something so beautiful in this person's innate, that's the thing about callings, innate understanding and relatability, connection to misunderstood. Beautiful monsters. We're not talking about serial killers out there. That's not what we're talking about. We're talking about Frankenstein. We're talking about the beauty of he got into this incredible conversation about the monsters who are doing things that don't even know that they're doing them. And it's not even empathy, but his understanding of their beauty. Now, I couldn't even get to that place had I not looked at and was willing to own and hear his wildness. Got a thing about darkness, don't ya? So in my own life, my wildness is like full-on fiery intensity joy, which, for lots of people, they can take that, right? They're like, "Oh, that's a lot of joy. That's great. At least her wildness is big and beautiful." But sometimes my wildness is also in sorrow. I can do sorrow like it's nobody's business, right? The call inside of you that has that wildness to it not only feeds you, but it serves the world. Now, there is a double-edged sword to this wildness. There is. Because if I stood in my own fire all day, I'd burn. It's not about landing in your fire and indulging in it and eating it like it's not like that, because I would burn up. It's about owning all of the pieces of that wildness, getting to know all the corners, like where your elbows go, all the dark corners, all your bright corners. Good morning, Diana. Good morning, sunshine. And look at the sun. Oh, it's beautiful, beautiful. We're talking about wildness today. It's getting to know that wildness in you and all parts of it. Knowing the side of the sword, the double-edged sword of that wildness, of when you're too far on this side and now you're like going down. Like, I can tell you, I can do sorrow like nobody's business. And I know the tipping point of that sorrow when it starts eating me. I also know when my joy, my big, bright, sunshiny joy, tips, and then it's all about me, right? It's like when I'm actually in my spotlight, in my joy light, and I'm making it all about me and I'm not sharing it. So I know where the tipping point is, but the only way to find the tipping, that double-edged sword of your wildness, that is your call, part of that call, it's like it is the battery pack of your call. It's the battery. The only way to do that is to own it. So today on Tina O Life and this call series, I want you to reflect back on some of those parts of you that you think are way too big for this world. that you think are way too much for this world, that other people have told you, don't do that. That's bad. That's hard. That's too much. I want you to look at that and own it and love it. And again, go back to that first call that we did about it. It is the most magnificent part of the star. It is also the sharpest point. And know that your wildness is beautiful, and it is your battery pack. I think my phone's down to like 8%, so I'm gonna close off before it closes me. I'm Tina O from Tina O Life, and this is my series, The Call, about the call inside of you and the core story that call lives in, so that it can live and give and be shared with the world. Thanks for tuning in today, and good morning, everybody. Look at this. It just doesn't get much better than that. Mwah! Happy December. Go live your call.